Okay, well, Sistas fans, Tyler Perry just dropped a bomb on us, and I know a lot of people are saying the same thing. Well, Jeremy, we don't know for, certain if this is indeed Fatima's child. What if it's Joey's son and Fatima was kind of like a stepmom to him, or I don't even know if her and Joey were married, but, I look. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is her kid. Now, there is that one line of dialogue that we have in the trailer. I don't like the little bastard, okay? And I think more people are trying to defend Fatima than accept that there is a possibility this is indeed her son. Now, what do we know? Not much in anything. Joey and the child, 9-year-old son, they live in DC. The reason Joey has come to Atlanta to talk with Fatima is because, well, their son's 9 and now he's asking all sorts of questions about his mom and he wants to talk to Fatima about it. And that's pretty much it. It's like some people were telling me last night, Jeremy, you ain't really missed anything. There were maybe a couple of scenes with some key information about, setting up the finale. But other than that, this episode was kind of meh. And, well, I felt the same kind of way about the Jennifer confronting Aaron / John at the salon. Most of that dialogue didn't tell us anything. It was just Jennifer going, you know what you did? You know what you did? Get out of here. You need to leave. No, I'm not going anywhere. That's it. I didn't even care about the slap or anything. It's just the fact that I waited for that scene, but once we got it, we didn't learn much. At least with the Joey and Zach scene, we did get some information. 9-year-old boy, Fatima up and left, and he wants to talk to her. That was it. I mean, and then when we look at the promo for next week, when she says, oh, hey, I don't like the little bastard. Okay. Is she talking about Hayden? Is she talking about Joey? Is she talking about the kid? Who is she talking about? I'm more inclined to think it's the kid. Now, I think for me personally, this could, and I remember saying this a while ago and people were like, y'all, you crazy. It would be wild if in Sistas, Zach and Fatima broke up. And then in Zatima, him and Fatima still stayed together. I think I even posted something. Wouldn't it be wild if in Sistas, Zach ended up with Karen, but in Zatima, he ended up with Fatima? It's wild. I mean, when you really, and look, I'm not saying I want them together. I'm not. But damn, Zach may have been better off with Karen than Fatima when you really think about it. Because Karen's finding out Aaron isn't who she thought he was. Or excuse me, she thought he was. And now Zach is learning shit about Fatima where it's like, oh my goodness, who are you? So sometimes the devil you know is better than the one you don't. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you need to stay with trash just because the rest of the world is trashy out there. But I don't know what to say for Fatima. I mean, for the Fatima stands that are coming up with all these, oh, well, maybe that's not the son. Maybe the trailer is misleading us and she's talking about someone else. We don't know what's going on. And, Fatima chose peace. And I'm like, what the hell? That's her own flesh and blood, allegedly. I mean, if it was a man that said the same thing Fatima said, like, let's say the roles were reversed. Zach, you got a child with a stripper? This child is 9 years old and you've never said anything about him and you don't see him? I don't like the little bastard, okay? Do you know how much flack and how much dragging that man would have to go through online? Yet when it comes to Fatima, oh, well, I think it's just, to fool the fans. I don't think Fatima means it. And then for those who literally is like, oh yeah, that's the son, she chose her piece. Not one person that said deadbeat. Or, excuse me, no deadbeat or anything. It's like they're trying, oh, I still ride for Fatima. Are you fucking kidding me? Damn. Look, and I could be wrong. The line of dialogue could be pertaining to someone else. But to have a 9-year-old son, look, I said it before, Her not telling Zach about the abortion of Ian's baby, yeah, okay, that's a heavy subject. I'm not saying she's obligated to tell Zach. I just feel like at some point she might tell him about it because maybe that will, make him a little closer. But in this situation, this is a almost a preteen. Yet you don't see this child, you don't mention him. And I'm thinking to myself, this might turn Zach, just inside out in terms of how he feels about Fatima, because how does he know that if they have a kid together, she won't decide one day, I don't like the little bastard, and just ups and leaves, even though at that point they'll probably be married. But I don't know. It's just the fact that now we can truly see this heifer stay running. It isn't just talks with Zach that keeps her running. She's used to it. She's a coward. Now, look, I know I'm being harsh. I don't know the full story. I mean, we don't know if it's a situation where Joey was abusive and Fatima up and left, couldn't take the child with her. Okay, that's fair. But just based on what we know, which isn't much, it doesn't seem like Fatima has a reasonable, a good enough reason for doing what she did. Just living her new life, got a fiance. It's like Zach said, it's crazy how cool you are with all this stuff, like the baby mama stuff, me being in jail and whatnot. I mean, I think the craziest thing is Fatima straight up lying to this man's face when she's like, when he said, do I know everything about you, about your life? Yeah. No, he doesn't. You've said in previous seasons, Zach, there are some things you just ain't ready to know yet. But then again, Nathan got hate for, trying to tell Zach not to rush into anything. And now, well, here we have it. But Fatima having a 9-year-old, personally, just like, after the Will Smith slap, it's like, there are those who still rock with Smith, others who don't. Same thing with Rock. Is like, he made that joke and, I don't like him, or he deserved it. It's like people pick sides. For me personally, I don't think there's a way to redeem Fatima after this. Like I said, let's see how things play out. Let's see what her reason is. But if she legit just says, I didn't like the little bastard, so I left. I don't know what Tyler's thinking with this. I really do not. All right, well, that's all I got to say. Also, it just kind of makes things even heavier. I mean, I know I'm reading into this too much, but remember when we saw Fatima take Michael, Heather's son, to kind of, just hold him in the background of the kitchen while, Heather and Zach talked about child support stuff and DNA tests. And we saw her take the baby, well, not the baby, the kid, and, kind of just hold him and whatnot. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Well, now we know she has experience, but she just decided not to interact with him. And I mean, say what you will about Zach having these baby mamas popping up, but it is reckless of him to do this. But the fact that he has no question of, hey, you know what? That's my kid. I'll take care of him. That says a lot more about him than in a positive light than it does for Fatima. Let's just hope Tyler has a good reason for doing what he's doing, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, season 5 was bad enough, but in terms of ruining Zach and Fatima, especially Fatima, but now Tyler really done it. All right, well, let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next one.